we have a constitution imposed on us by the military. The ones that our fathers created at the time that the British left was thrown away, and a group of military officers, not less than 50 officers, came together and wrote a constitution and imposed it on us. It is not working. Because it is not working, our country has thrown up all kinds of unbelievable issues that make it impossible for it to thrive. What has made it even worse is that we have no real democracy. The voice of the people has no relevance to the way we are governed. We have to all rise up and ensure that we rewrite our constitution. That's right. And write a constitution which accords with our diversities. What our fathers wrote worked. I grew up in the first independence. The standard of my education was comparable to anywhere in the world. It is not the situation today. This bad structure has given up all kinds of things that we will deal with when we are talking about solution. And I think that by far the most important thing is that the country is broken. It doesn't have a structure. It doesn't, in law, we call it, our constitution is not attached on us. When a constitution is not attached on us, it is a constitution that does not have validity with the people. For a constitution which starts with we, the people of Nigeria, make this law, that constitution has to be subjected to a referendum, a vote by which the people accept it. Yes, we made it. Now, we don't have a constitution.
Thank you. What do you think the solution is? And how can we get to that solution, sir?
I would ask you to expand the minutes to everyone so that we don't just have a
everyone's going to get their 2 minutes. What I'm saying is it will go from you and go back to Yinka Odumake.
I doubt if in 2 minutes we can make any reasonable impact on our thought.
Let's start, sir.
You can't talk about solution without saying what the problem is.
Yes.
Well, now we have a country that has no credible elections. So our process of recruiting leadership is faulty. This is the only country in the world where after an election, you adjudicate in court for 1 year. In Imo State, they are still in court determining who is governor of Imo State. We have insecurity of the worst kind since we have ever been a country today. And we have an administration of security that gives no confidence to the ordinary man. You know, you can break any law in this country. People get away with murder here. In the last few weeks, the revelations in the National Assembly, whether they are in NDCC or in NMPC, there are things people will go to jail for in any country of the world. And as I speak to you, it doesn't appear as if the government is doing anything about it. Now, we have declining resources. In any other country in the world, there would have been an emergency room now thinking about what do we do when oil ceases to be a source of wealth. We are not doing that. The rest of the world is doing that. Several companies are now indicating, several multinational companies are now indicating interest to move away from engines powered by oil. We have poor education. When I went to school in the First Republic, I could compete with anybody in any university anywhere in the world. I went to university in Ibadan and I went to university in LSE. And I came tops in my class in LSE because of my foundation in Ibadan. It is not possible today. We have poor agricultural policies. We have poor infrastructure. Our country cannot sustain the load we take all over the place. You
Chief,
can't.
Can I ask you a question? You just to take two things. You talked about a broken country. You talked about rewrite the constitution, and you talked about referendum. What does it mean? Can you just sort of come down one level? What does it when you talk about restructuring or what are the practical steps that we need to take?
The practical steps are the kind of steps President Jonathan took when he was in government. We need to constitute a constitutional conference or use the results of the constitutional conference that Jonathan had, which all parts of Nigeria agreed to. We subject them to a national referendum. Do you people in Nigeria agree to this? Otherwise, call a group of representatives from all sections of the country elected by their people to come and look at those conclusions in order to save time and money and distill the things which are germane to bad governance in Nigeria and make them available for adoption and for a referendum. So the people of Nigeria vote and say, okay, now we want to restructure into regional structure and state structure so that every region has a set of states under it, or you have states like the United States of America, which are independent of each other. And there are powers limited for the federal government and powers limited for the state government. And every area has sovereignty over its natural resources and pays a taxation to the federal government for maintenance of common services. When we have this, there will be a competition amongst all the regions or all the states, and then we will begin to fine-tune development.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.